Hello and welcome to DayOneUpdate. This is Auxi Klutch and I'll be showing you guys a Master Chief Collection Forge tutorial, and this Forge tutorial entails a linking of timers to spawn in any object at any time that you virtually want. So what this means is you can now spawn in teleporters, you can spawn in vehicles, weapons, and this can be used for any game mode, virtually any game mode that you want in the Master Chief Collection. As I will be using this for linear infection, you can be using it for your objective-based game or your map or any type of mini game that you have in mind. But for this tutorial means I'll be using it for a linear infection base-esque style. So if we go ahead and jump right on in here, I kind of have got a little ahead of myself there, but scripting is the category that you want to go over, and you want to go to timers, as the title of the video entails, and you want to go to timer on once. There's a lot of other options, but timer on once is what we need. And what you want to do with timer on once is to place it near, well, usually what I do is I place it near what I want to activate, so I just know this is what is activating what. And for this tutorial purpose, I want teleporters to spawn in to assist the flood as a flanking route over here, and we're gonna have that spawn in due to timers. So what we want to do in the timer selection is we want to leave the advanced alone. We don't need to mess with any of that, but in scripting what we want to do is we want to have the broadcast channel. Now there's a lot of different things that we want to do first, but the broadcast channel and the timer user data are the first things that we want to do with the first timer on once. So what we'll do is we'll move the broadcast channel to 1 and the timer user data to 10. So what this means is we are allowing 10 seconds to pass before the timer on once activates. And a little bit later on I'll show you what you can do in real time with these. This is just for tutorial purposes, and I'll be doing a short version of it. So what we want to do with the timer on once, the second one we have, is we have duplicated this and we have the same stats as the first one, but what we want to change is the power channel. The power channel needs to be linked up with the broadcast channel of this timer on once. As you can see, we have this as -1 because that is off. In this one we changed it to 1 because it is linking up with this one, so the broadcast channel of this one, after 10 seconds it will power on this timer on once. And what we want to change more with this is we want the broadcast channel to be broadcast channel 2 because we want that changed. I will also change this to 15 seconds because I'm going to take you into custom games and show you in real time of what happens with the timers. And what you also want to make sure is the can despawn. You want that true for all other timers that you want. You can keep going down and down and down with all the timers that you have, but the first one needs to be false because we don't want that one to go away initially. So with that set, we pretty much have the whole basis of what I want done. And like I said before, I want teleporters to come in, and I'll explain a little bit more about how many you can set down, and it just all works together in a linking fashion. So as I have my sender node here, I will also place a receiver node over there. But what we want to do is, this is the object that I want to spawn in after the second timer is 15 seconds is up. So what we want to do is, all we want to have changed with this is we immediately go to scripting and we have advanced. We'll start with advanced. All we need to do in advanced is false. Place it start false. That's it. That's all you need to do with it. And when we move to scripting, we have the spawn channel. All we need to do is link up the spawn channel with the broadcast channel of the second timer. And what we also want to change is can despawn to true, because we want this to come in after not being placed at start. I will also have a receiver node over here, and I'll just mirror the settings of the sender node. So with that being done, we can now hang on. With that being done, the linking of timers is pretty much done, but for this tutorial purpose I will add lights so we can see in custom game when these are activated. So what we are doing is we're just having these objects spawn in, and I will take some timers off to the side and do real time of the timers you'd probably do in real games. But also another thing to note is when some objects have spawn times of 30 seconds, make sure that you change those back down to never, because we want these things to spawn immediately. So when we go to scripting, we'll just mimic the settings to and true, and I will duplicate this object and place it over the sender. So with that, the tutorial is concluded, but what I will do is I will take these off to the side, and you're probably wondering, well, the timers only go to 100 seconds. Well, that is true. However, with this linking of teleporters, we can set this to all the way up to 100, and we can now duplicate. So that's 100 seconds down in the bag, and when we duplicate this and we change the power channels like we did before in those small tutorial ones, we change the power channel 1. In the broadcast channel 2, we now have 200 seconds. So basically what is happening is the timer on once will power on this timer on. And we want to set that to true, so we want to spawn in. So what we have now is 200 seconds, and if you want even more, you can now have 300 seconds, but you got to remember to change the power channel to the previous one, not the first one, but the previous one that you placed. So this is power channel 2 and broadcast channel 3, and you can keep going on and on and on as long as you want, as long as the game type that you have timer or time goes. So let's say that you want to stop with this one and you want 350 seconds, and all you have to do is drop this down to 50 seconds and you're done. And that's how you would do it in real time, and this would all be linking up to one object, as the last object what we would have would be set to broadcast channel 3. All you would have to do with that object is change the scripting spawn channel to broadcast channel 3. But for this tutorial, we do not need that. And I will go ahead and take you guys into custom games, and I'll show you what this does in real time. And we are back, and we are in the custom game loadout, and as I said before, we have the timing, and as you can see the lights are off, and I have the timers set to the 10 seconds are the loading screen and the 15 seconds are the lights that I want to spawn in. And as you can see, at 11:45 the lights will spawn in and the teleporters will spawn in accordingly. See, as we can do, we have now spawned in a light and a teleporter of both each, yeah. So as what this concludes this tutorial. Hopefully this is very helpful for you guys, and hopefully you guys can make some pretty cool stuff using this tactic. And yeah, this is Auxi, and I will see you guys next time.